She called the police even when she was driving, and we've had multiple conversations. One, you can't take off when a police officer is there. Two, if you did, when you call the police and there's multiple other officers there, you pull off to the side of the road. You don't get to choose where you stop. And she understands that. She understands that, takes responsibility. That's why she's here today.
25 CR 008561, State versus Veronica Callahan. Can I have parties announced?
Sworn Espinosa for the state.
Matthew Allen for Miss Callahan.
And are you Miss Callahan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You entered a plea on January 27th. According to your plea, the state was proceeding on count 1, waiving the enhancements. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,200 fine. The state is opposed to your application. They're taking in consideration 2025 CR 014278. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI and TAP evaluation?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any objections?
None from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Any objections to the court reviewing the PSI and TAP evaluation?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge, sorry.
All right. And state you're opposed. Do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, just briefly.
Defense, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor. Just argument as well.
Right. Just give me a moment. All right. State, you may proceed.
Your Honor, we ask that you deny Ms. Callahan's applications and sentence to a cap of 6 years in the prison. Ms. Callahan has criminal history. She's been convicted of 2 DWIs, a manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance, PG1, as well as the possession of a controlled substance, PG1, 4 to 200 grams, as well as another possession in 2016. Of these cases, she's been granted probation in 4 of these, 3 of which she was granted probation resulted in motions to revoke and sentencing either into the respective Bexar County Jail or TDC. Ms. Callahan has been given chances on these probations and ultimately cannot comport her behavior to comply with the rules and conditions laid out before her. Based on the PSI and TAP, Ms. Callahan's in the pre-contemplation stage. We can see here when she recounts the facts of this underlying case, she essentially blames the officer. She said that she drove away because he reached his hand inside of her vehicle without providing a reason for the stop. However, she was afforded that explanation that it was because of expired registration. It was only because of her action of not cooperating with turning over her ID and identifying herself that the officer attempted to open the door to assist her out of the vehicle for non-compliance. She then drove off, and it was only after her vehicle was spiked, the rear tires had blown out, and there were multiple patrol units following, both marked and unmarked, that Ms. Callahan stopped. Once she stopped, she still did not comply. She refused to get out of the vehicle and had to be assisted out by officers. Your Honor, Ms. Callahan alleges that she has ceased majority of her drug usage throughout her life. However, I think it's perplexing that she expects the court or asks the court to believe that she has no usage. She merely just possesses narcotics. So because of these reasons, Judge, we'd ask that you deny her applications and sentence to a cap of 6 years.
Yes, Your Honor. The criminal history is what it is. So she was on parole. She completed that. As far as the instant offense, it's not a drug case. It's an evading arrest case. Her recitation of the facts are just that. It's a recitation. It doesn't say, I'm not guilty of evading arrest because the officer reached into the vehicle. It's just her recounting what happened. Obviously, she's here because she's taking responsibility. She called the police even when she was driving, and we've had multiple conversations. One, you can't take off when a police officer is there. Two, if you did, when you call the police and there's multiple other officers there, you pull off to the side of the road. You don't get to choose where you stop. And she understands that. She understands that, takes responsibility. That's why she's here today. She's not saying I didn't evade arrest or that there was some legal reason why I was able to not comply with the officer's commands. And that's why she's here, because she took a plea to accept responsibility. Since she's been out now, as far as the PSI goes, it says here, current address. She actually does now have a stable address here in San Antonio, Texas. So she's not homeless, which helps with obviously trying to.
Why didn't she pull over?
The reason she didn't pull over is because she didn't feel that the officer explained anything. She thought she just got pulled over, and then he was reaching his hands into the vehicle. She felt unsafe. That's why she left and called the police herself.
So why did they have to put spikes down?
Again, that's because she was then trying to say, well, she was going to feel safe if she went to her house. So she's not driving at a high rate of speed, but we've had that conversation before. And so something from probation would be like a cognitive course, and thinking and critical decision making, because obviously that's an error in judgment. And that's a mistake. That's why she's here. As far as she does have a stable home, she actually has two jobs. One is a home health care worker, and I know the court sometimes does not allow people, but she has another job where she helps remodel a business for a man named James. She provided a letter from him to probation as well. So we have talked about this court and home health care working, and that's why she has another job set up and is already working that. Like I said, her housing, she actually had a trailer where she paid an individual $4,000 to live there. Well, that individual is not there any longer, and his wife is not agreeing with that. So she lost out on that money, but again, she's found other places. Mental health, she had been diagnosed a long time ago with manic depressant and bipolar. Again, she is working. She has support here. Paul Dickens is here in the courtroom, and he shows up. She showed up to court yesterday because she's heard this court say, do not show up late. She showed up a day early. She takes this case seriously. I don't see how sending her to prison sends any message or helps anybody. Again, she can take drug tests. She can work. She has housing. She can take a cognitive course. She can do a mental health evaluation. She even explained about that some of these things during the interview, she was crying because it was bringing up past things. And so she tried to be open and honest about it, about her past. And so again, they cognitive behavioral therapy, again, there's some adverse childhood experiences. She has had a pretty good childhood. I just think that the court can put conditions in place that allows Miss Callahan to continue to support herself, get better, and protect the community all at once. And so we're asking this court to give Miss Callahan just an opportunity to go on probation. I understand she had been on probation a while back and didn't take advantage of that. But she is a different individual here today. She wants to take responsibility. She does want to show the court and herself and her support system that she can follow this court's orders.
May I return the question
About
the reason of
Do y'all need to step back?
when that's to be changed? It's the reason being was that it was
yeah. So she had conversations with the supervisor of SAPD about the interaction and some of the ways that were done. And so, but again, that's after the fact. That doesn't absolve her from it. But she has tried to take responsibility, examine herself and her responsibility in that situation. And obviously, she was wrong, and that's why she's here today.
State.
Your Honor, I would just ask the court to deny applications. Ms. Callahan when asked how supervision would help her first statement was, it would definitely help me so I don't lose my freedom. I think that's what is exhibited here. Ms. Callahan thinks her freedom is more important than the law. She thinks that she can flee because she feels unsafe. And at what point are we to show Ms. Callahan that you must comport and comply, and you can't keep running from things because you think you're right? So I don't believe she would be a good applicant or candidate for any sort of probation judge. And while this court may and will probably be able to accommodate and target some of the issues Ms. Callahan experiences, I don't think she is deserving of that chance because she's shown she cannot comply.
All right. Anything you wish to say? I mean, if you want to say something, then I'll have to put you under oath. State will have a chance to ask questions.
I just know that.
All right, no.
No,
Do you want,
I don't want to.
Okay. No, Your Honor.
you're sure? Ms. Callahan, what I'm telling you, if there's something you want to say to me, then what I have to do is I have to swear you in. And then I will listen to whatever you want to say to me, but the state will have an opportunity to ask you questions as well.
Mhm.
So do you need to speak with her concerning that, counsel?
No, Your Honor. We've spoken about it. And no, she doesn't wish to talk other than what I've explained, and what she's said.
All right, Ms. Callahan, I reviewed the PSI, the TAP evaluation. I've listened to your attorney and listened to the state. I just don't think you're a good candidate for probation. Okay. I'm going to find you guilty, taking consideration 2025 CR 014278. There's a $1,200 fine, time and money run concurrent. I request the therapeutic community and I'll sentence you to 3 years in the prison and give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, good luck to you. Court is calling 2025 CR 007217, State versus Desmond DeBryan Gomez. Could I have parties announced?
Christian Vega for the defense.
And are you Desmond Gomez? All right. We are here for sentencing. Just one moment. All right, Mr. Savage, we're on the record. You're going to have to whisper. That's okay. All right, according to the plea paperwork, it says that you entered a plea of no contest to counts 1 and counts 3. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge. He was running a concurrent, it was a plea for concurrent deferred, and we were recalled for a TAP evaluation and a MIC evaluation.
No, I'm just wondering because the docket sheet says something different. So I just want to make sure that the paperwork is correct. So count 2 was waived.
I would have to look at it, Judge. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Because I have count 2. Oh, I'm sorry. There are 2 case
Yes,
numbers.
2 and 1. That's
2 and 1. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
All right. So you entered a plea of no contest to counts 1, counts 2, and counts 3. All right. And it counts 1 and 3 are third-degree felonies. Count 2 is a state jail felony. And according to your plea bargain agreement, in each case, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. And just one moment. Do you have any objection to the court reviewing the information that probation has sent?
Oh, not at all, Judge.
All right. Have both parties had a chance to review the mental health evaluation and the TAP evaluation?
Yes,
Any
Judge.
objections?
None.
All right. All right, so they're not recommending that he be placed on the mental health caseload. And then with regards to the TAP evaluation, they're recommending residential treatment. Did you want to address that, counsel?
Yes, Judge. Clearly it's within your discretion. There's staff with aftercare, intensive outpatient with aftercare, and in the event he either anxiety worsened or they due to issues on probation, if there was ever a need for MIC placement, they said they'd reevaluate that. He does not have an extensive criminal history at all, but in addition, regarding drugs, if drugs were involved in the offense, he does admit to substance abuse, several serious drugs. I think he could benefit from some treatment, but he has never been on a probation before. So I think intensive outpatient could, I think that would be very beneficial to him. He's been in custody for quite some time. He's not bonded out, and maybe status could be held in abeyance while he does do intensive outpatient treatment.
Probation, what are you recommending as far as, I know the TAP evaluation is requesting residential treatment. What are you recommending? Are you in agreement with the lesser modality?
Judge. I think that he has been I would be in agreement with the less modality, with the understanding if any alternate ways or anything comes up that he would go into status.
All right. And then the other question I have, it mentions that his family's in Beeville.
He does have some family out there. Yes, Judge, but he also has a family in town.
So is he going to be remaining in Bear County?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Desmond DeBrian Gomez.
All right. So I do remember your case. Now that you're before me, do you need a cough drop?
Yes, actually.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I tend to remember faces, then I can connect that to the facts that I recall. So, when is the last time you had any type of treatment for mental health issues?
Can't recall, like as far as inpatient or outpatient,
Mhm.
I just have a normal family doctor that has given me antidepressants and other medications just throughout the past maybe 6 or 7 years. Sure.
All right. So, when's the first time do you recall seeing a mental health doctor? How old were you?
They no, probably like 10 years old.
Because, counsel, I'll tell you what, even though I know what the mental health people are saying, what I find concerning is your attempt to commit suicide in the vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you having any contact with your children now or no?
I've been talking to them over the phone, but I haven't seen them in probably since before I had gotten arrested about 6 months ago.
All right. And who is your support system here in Bear County?
In Bear County, my grandmother, and I have two aunts that I talk to over here.
All right. How far did you go in school?
11th grade, and then that's when I had my daughter.
Mhm.
And I just stopped going.
So have you worked on trying to obtain your GED? And have you been successful with that or no?
Still in the process. I was in the process right now, while in custody, and I've tried, but I've just really been hard for me.
All right. Have you had any type of employment before?
Yes, ma'am.
Doing what?
Survey.
Okay. So what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to do, I'm going to start you with outpatient treatment. And you're going to have to really communicate with your probation officer because I'm going to grant your application for deferred adjudication. But these cases, if you're unsuccessful in deferred adjudication and if a motion to revoke is filed, I'm not saying it could happen. I mean, that it will happen. But on the state jail felony, you will be looking at 2 years in the state jail facility, and that's day for day. The other cases that are the other counts that are third degree felonies, you'd be looking at 10 years. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're going to have to communicate with your probation officer, and your attorney will tell you in this court, if people are struggling with their drug addictions, all you have to do is let your probation officer know. And you know what's going to end up happening? If they tell me that you're using again, I'm going to receive a supplemental report from them, and they're going to tell me that you're testing positive for drugs. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set it for a compliance hearing. I'm going to have you come in, and we're going to see. And maybe you need inpatient treatment. But if you do this thing and you disappear, that's going to be a major problem. You understand? All right. So this is what the court is going to do. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are to run concurrently. There's to be no contact with Olga Cisneros. The reason why I'm doing that is because all of this started because you all were in a fight.
Yes, Your Honor.
I may change that at some point in time, but for now, you need to focus on you. You understand?
Yes.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 45 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Take in consideration 2025 PF 13273. There's to be restitution, if any, to Juan Vertiz, Vertiz. James Trottie, Trottie. There's to be the MRT, anger management, 200 hours of community service restitution. The court is going to order parenting classes. Once that's completed, 100 hours will be deemed satisfied. The remaining 100 hours will be deemed satisfied if the defendant obtains his GED or trade school certification. I am going to order the parenting classes, the trade school or certification. That's up to you. Either you can get that done or either you can do 100 hours in the heat of San Antonio. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be intensive outpatient treatment with probation and a referral to Center for Healthcare Services and 60 sober meetings in 60 days. Probation, is there anything else? Thank you. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice, and there's to be no residing with minors.
The name for one, for the registration, verify the last name,
BERTIZ.
is Victor B's boy.
Oh, V as in Victor.
That's enough.
All right, and there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Is there anything else you need from the court to help you be successful on this probation?
I guess it's giving me everything to think that I need as well.
All right. If you need anything else, be sure and let the court know. Counsel, for some reason, I do not have a copy of the trial court certification.
Okay. We can do that.
So if you could just grab one for me, please.
Did you have the term for the probation, the sorts?
Oh, thank you. 5 years deferred adjudication.
Thank you.
It feels like it's a Monday. This is what happens when I leave for a certain amount of time. Do you know in some places people are on probation for life? I've never heard of such.
Sounds difficult.
And I'm sorry, Vashon, you need to write a letter of apology to James Trotty. You understand?
Yes, sure.
No one likes to be spit upon.
Yes, sure.
So, Ms. Abrams, he's going to write a letter of apology to James Trotty.
When this hearing began, the defense argued that Veronica Callahan had changed, found stability, and deserved one more opportunity. But in the end, the court focused on something far more important: accountability. After multiple prior chances and repeated failures to comply with court orders, the judge concluded that probation was no longer the answer and imposed a prison sentence instead. It's a reminder that in the justice system, second chances are earned through actions, not promises. So what do you think? Was this a fair decision based on her history, or should the court have given her one final opportunity to prove she had truly changed?